Hey guys, what's up? It's D. So this is going to be a different type of video. This is going to be like a chatting video. Y'all see I'm a little closer, up close and personal so we can talk. So this is going to be a virginity video. So I want to talk to you guys about my experience losing my virginity, and I also want to give you guys some tips that you can utilize, for your own experience. I know there are a lot of younger ladies who watch me who are in middle school, high school, college, and I want to give you some information, some wisdom, the wisdom that I got, so hopefully you can use it as you grow into your womanhood. These things are very, very important. And I just know that when I was in high school, I did not have anyone to talk to about this type of thing. I did have an older sister, but she was older, so she was busy doing her own thing. And my sister had a baby at that point. She had a baby very, very young. So, I couldn't go to her. She was busy and doing her own thing. And then my mother was very uncomfortable talking about that type of thing. So we never talked about sex or anything like that. And all I had left was my friends who were around my age, and they didn't know what the hell they was talking about. Like, they gave me all types of wrong information all the time. So that was a fail trying to talk to them. So I just want to give you guys some info so hopefully it can be useful. So first, let's talk about my virginity story, my virginity experience. So how I lost my virginity was very, very different than how all of my friends lost their virginity. So they all would tell me these horror stories about how painful it was and how there was a lot of bleeding and it was horrible. And I was just like so freaked out, like, I don't want that to be me. So I made sure I took a very different course of action. So tip number one, I'm gonna be giving tips as we go through this video, but tip number one, this may sound a little vulgar, but do not under any circumstances ever let nobody ram their penis inside of you, okay? Just know, all right? A lot of these younger guys are very eager and they're just gonna wanna no. It's a no, all right? So tip number two, you want to make sure that it is someone that you trust, that you're very comfortable with, that is not aggressive. Make sure they are not aggressive and pushy, because if they have that personality, chances are that's going to translate into your sexual experience, and you don't want that when you're losing your virginity. All right, it's gonna be horrible if they too eager and trying to be like a rabbit and just force. It's gonna suck. So make sure that they are very gentle, kind, nice, and you feel comfortable with them. That is very important. So, on to my virginity story. So I lost my virginity when I was 16, and I think that's the average age, or at least it definitely used to be the average age that people lost their virginity. Now I think the number has gone up. I don't know if it's still the same, but I was 16 and I lost it to my boyfriend. We were only together for like a month, so I don't recommend that. I definitely don't recommend that. So tip number three, make sure you know them. Like I said, you need to be comfortable with them, and in order to really determine that, you need to know them a good amount of time. So definitely don't rush it, and don't, do it too soon. I definitely don't advise that. So I did it way too soon. But thankfully, the guy that I did sleep with, he was very gentle and he was very patient. He did not push anything at all. So tip number four, do not lose your virginity to anyone who is pressuring you. Do not ever feel like you are pressured or that you're being, convinced to do it at all. If he keeps talking about it and he keeps trying to convince you, he's not the one, sis. Move along. And chances are he's just trying to use you for sex anyway. If he's really pushy and thirsty for it, that's probably all he wants, and then he's probably going to move along. That's probably his little game that he played with people. So don't fall for it. So I definitely recommend that the guy is not pushy whatsoever. I feel like you should be the one to initiate it. You should be the one to tell him, like, hey, I'm ready. So that was my experience. I told the guy, hey, I'm ready. Of course, we had talked about it before, but I was the one who ultimately came to him and said, I'm ready. So I thought I was ready. I thought I knew. I thought I had all the answers at 16, and it's just so laughable to look back and be like, girl, you didn't know shit. But I thought I knew everything. I thought I was grown, okay? So I told him I'm ready, and my experience was very, very slow, okay? So we're at my house, and I told him, like, listen, I've heard bad stories about my friends and the dudes just forcing it in. Do not do that, or I'm gonna stop and I'm gonna break up with you if you do it. This is what I told him. So I was like, don't play with me. Like, this is a very sensitive situation. You know, I'm a virgin. Do not play. Be very, very gentle. Do not force it at all. So this is what I told him. So the best way I can describe our experience was there was a lot of gentle poking, okay? So I did not let him just force anything, okay? And I told him beforehand, don't do that. We're gonna have problems if you do that. So it was very gentle, and he did not force anything. So I was telling him to like naturally let it happen. So the objective was for him to naturally penetrate me so that there was no force. So there was a lot of foreplay, and you know, we're just trying, poking, all of that. Sorry if this is graphic. I'm trying to give y'all, you know, the rundown. So the first time we did that, literally this was, I feel like it took hours, to be honest with you. Probably like 2 hours, something like that. It was a long time, and it just wasn't going in. Like it kind of was. It kind of was going in a little bit, but it would not fully go in. So I told him, like, all right, let's just stop. I'm sure he had blue balls. I'm sure he felt some type of way. Too bad. I was like, listen, let's stop. I'm ready to stop. So we stopped, and we picked it up again the second day. I'm pretty sure it was like the next day or maybe the day after that. So we tried again, went through the same routine, a lot of gentle poking, no force, letting it gently happen, letting everything naturally occur. And, you know, to my surprise, after a while, the more we did it, the more, you know, aroused we both got. It just naturally started to slowly go in. And this is so embarrassing. I started making all of these noises that I had seen in pornos. Ugh. Mind you, this did not even feel good. It didn't hurt, but it didn't feel good either. It just felt like something was in my vagina. Like there was no pleasure whatsoever. I didn't feel nothing. I was just like, all right, I mean, yeah, it's there. I feel it, but it don't feel good. But, you know, because I saw girls doing it in porn, I just was making noises and acting like it was great. And my mother came home. So if any of you are familiar with, you know, any of my videos with Brandon, we have talked about this before, I'm pretty sure, and I've talked about how I got caught having sex. This was the time. She came home, and because I was so loud and over the top and ridiculous, I did not hear her come through the front door. I think she was supposed to be gone for a long time, and she ended up randomly coming back early. But all I know is that there was this knock right on my goddamn door as I'm like, Oh, so embarrassing. Anyway, that, you know, whatever went on, and, you know, I tried to hide him, but that didn't make no sense because she already heard us, and then she came in. It was just horrible. Anyway, that was my virginity experience. It was embarrassing, but it was pleasant as far as pain goes. There was no pain or anything like that. So that is what I definitely recommend. Also, I did not use tampons when I was in high school. So I think that also contributed to why it was so difficult for me to have sex. But I feel like if you use tampons, you may be able to have an easier experience. Maybe, I'm not sure. Yeah, that was my experience, losing my virginity. It wasn't a bad experience at all, but I definitely feel like I could have waited for sure. Cause that guy, we weren't even together that long, probably together for like a couple more months, and then he started like talking to other girls. I broke up with him. I definitely could have waited. So I definitely recommend, like I said, that you are with somebody that you're comfortable with, that you know well, because a lot of these guys are just looking to have sex. All right, now to continue with the tips. Of course, always make sure that you use protection. These dudes cannot be trusted, okay? They cannot be trusted, especially when they are younger. They are not making the best decisions. They're just not. When we're younger, we think we know everything. We think we got everything figured out. We don't. So they could easily be having sex with other girls unprotected and contracting STDs. They could easily bring it to you. So you want to be very careful with that. Always use protection. Always, okay? Definitely get birth control. You do not want to be a teen mom. My sister was a teen mom, okay? She had a kid very, very early, and that was not her intention to get pregnant. So, you know, you definitely want to have birth control pills as well as a backup method. You don't want to use that in place of condoms. No, you need both. Use them both, all right? So you want to be prepared. Make sure that you are not having sex irresponsibly, because it can really, really change the course of your entire life, and it may not be something that you want. So just keep that in mind. Also, do not be in a rush to have sex because you think it seems so fun. That was actually one of my reasons, which is so ridiculous, but I was just like, oh, I would be watching TV and watching porn, and I would just be like, it looks like it's so much fun. It looks like they're having the time of their life. They look like they're, you know, they're experiencing so much pleasure. Like, I want to be a part of that. Lies, okay? It is all lies. When you're watching TV, you're watching movies, they put no extras, okay? These people are actresses. And even porn, these women are actresses. That is acting, all right? They making all type of noises, yelling and acting like they're having the time of their life. A lot of these girls be so dry. They ain't having fun, all right? This is their job. So do not think that sex is the, you know, the best experience in the world and you need to hurry up and be a part of that. No, what you're seeing is very overhyped. You might even have your friends lying and saying, oh, it feels so good, it's so great. A lot of times they be just lying, they just talking, all right? I cannot speak about other women, but from my personal experience, I did not enjoy sex for some years. Like, and it's crazy because some women never enjoy sex. Some women are never able to orgasm, which is very unfortunate. But it took a while. It took a while for me to actually enjoy sex and get direct pleasure from sex. And I remember talking to my doctor about it, like, you know, I'm having sex and it ain't that great. So I don't know if I'm doing something wrong or what's going on. And she told me that, you know, that's how it is a lot of the time for a lot of women, that, you know, it's not gonna feel good for a while. You know, you gotta really keep doing it. And after some years, you may start experiencing some pleasure. She was like, some women don't. I was like, what? So, to be honest, when I would have sex, I would just be doing it just to do it. It would just be like, okay, this is me connecting with my partner, and we're making out while we're doing it, and you know, it was just like, it's something to do. This is what couples do. It's because I've been conditioned to believe that, you know, this is a part of the routine. As a couple, we have to do this. And that's unfortunate. You know, you shouldn't feel like that, but I wasn't getting anything out of it at first. So keep that in mind, that you may be rushing to want to have sex and it ain't what it's cracked up to be. You're gonna have sex and be like, really? I feel bamboozled. Okay, so that is the reason why you should wait, all right? Hold out as long as you possibly can. So when you are getting the mediocre sex in the beginning, you like, it's cool because this is somebody that I love and I want to be with, and I know that over time the sex will get better. But just know that that is a very strong possibility that your sex won't be that great in the beginning. So keep that in mind. As an adult, I do enjoy sex now, but it took a while for me to get here, all right? It took some time. So just know that. But yeah, that's pretty much all I could think of right now related to virginity and all that good stuff. If you guys have any particular questions, just let me know in the comments and I will be sure to answer them. So yeah, that is pretty much it. This was my virginity experience. You know, just keep in mind, sex is not the end all be all. It's a lot more great things in life that you can experience that do not have anything to do with sex. So don't be too eager to want to have sex. It ain't that serious, it ain't that deep, all right? So yeah, that's about it. I will see you guys very soon in the next video. Peace.